One of the reasons I bought this car.
Hello everyone, welcome back, and yes, my winter beard is coming in quite nicely, thank you for asking. Today I was out taking some glamour shots of the Corvette here in the background, and no, this is not my for sale video. There's probably a few of you who are wondering. I plan on keeping this one for quite a while because it is pretty awesome. I'm about to show you what it's like. I remember my R8 video did quite well with some of the folks who wanted to see what that was like to own one. So here I am with my 2012 Centennial Z06, Z07, and I highlight the Z07 portion because that's what makes this car pretty special. So I'm here to answer the question, what's it like to own a Z07? It's pretty awesome. So let's start with some of the things that I do know about the car. And the thing I know about the car is that I did a little research, and there's one of maybe 60 in this configuration that they made. So it's a Centennial, it's a 2012, it's black, it's got the Z07 stuff on it, so it's got the carbon brakes and all the, you know, ZR1 aero bits and stuff on it, but it's got an LS7, so that actually makes it more rare than the LS9 powered ZR1s. So there's, I don't know, a couple hundred of those that they made in the Centennial edition, but they only made about 60 of these in this configuration. So the LS7 with the carbon brakes and all the aero bits on it. So let's take a quick look around. And what we've got here is, if you remember from the reveal video, this is the C6.5R from Creative Innovations. Spoiler, I just thought that was pretty badass, so I had to have it. Forged line wheels here with some Falcon tires. I'm going to go over some of the stuff that I didn't show you in the first video. And what this car has that many others don't, so it makes it stand apart even more, is the B98 Hood on there. So that is carbon fiber raised hood. Not too many have that. So we've got the aero bits on the side here. Glamour shot here of the forge line with the carbon brakes. These are 18s all around, 315s all around, and it does make for quite a striking car. So some of the things that I've done to it, I have replaced all the bushings with Delrin bushings from Ride Tech. I've also replaced the F55 magnetic shock with Ride Tech single adjustables and giant sway bars. Let's get you a shot of the giant sway bar. There you go. There's that big sway bar, which means we can't use standard exhaust, so we had to use a Billy Boat bullet system. You can see way up in here. It's really small and gets underneath that giant sway bar, because that sway bar takes up a lot of room in the back. But that means for better performance, and it drives a little bit better. But the ride is a lot harsher now that we've replaced all the bushings, so that's a good part. So let's jump in, take a quick ride, and I'll show you the reason I bought this car as opposed to all the other ones on the market.
Oh, gotta get in the race seat. Makes it a little bit difficult. Not quite like good old stock seat that was there. So we're gonna buckle in, and notice I put the shark bar here in the back. And that is pretty standard, what a lot of companies use if they want to go racing. So let's go ahead and buckle up and get started. Let's see if you can spot the Billy Boat exhaust. Not bad. Strap in, take your first spin. A couple of the things that I have installed is the LG track box, so if any of you can see, the tire light is also on, plus also the service notice ride control, traction control's off by default, so it is in full race mode at all times. Got a straight road ahead of me. I'm just going to drive around and show you a couple of the things that I really enjoy. The wife did not want a race seat like I did, so we kept the nice warm seat that she gets to use her heated seats with. Stereo's pretty decent, pretty decent. There, it's loud enough for me. I don't really care, but it works. So ever since I changed the rubber bushings on all the control arms, I have noticed that the ride is a little bit harsh, but is a lot more positive. So if you turn, you make some adjustments like this, you definitely feel it in the seat, in the steering wheel. Your whole body can feel this this movement. So makes a huge difference. Mileage wise, I'm getting between 20 and 22, even with the giant spoiler in the back. So what sets the Centennial apart, the Z06, as opposed to all the other Z06s from 2012? Well, you get the red-lined interior, you get the Alcantara suede, you get the kind of this red stitching, you get Louis Chevrolet's face looking at you right from the steering wheel, which I suppose if that's what you want. And then you realize the car's French. That's Louis Chevrolet. So that's basically what you get. You get slightly nicer seats, you get a decent headrest in it. Again, I've replaced this seat because mainly I wanted to keep the driver's seat in decent shape and still be able to be snug in here and be safe. So airbags still do work. I've got a replacement for it in the seat here, the little modules. I did not get the telescoping module, so you'll notice that this does not work. However, the up-down feature works just fine. And you'll also notice that the seatbelt warning is gone too, so the airbag and seatbelt light are integrated into this one, so you have to use two different chips in this guy. I did use the planted seat bracket for here. This is as far back as I can get it, while still keeping it on track, and fairly comfortable, but getting in and out can be a bit of a tricky situation sometimes. Some of you may remember the SLC that I built in my garage, and that got a ridiculous amount of attention. Not really always good either, and you couldn't get another Corvette. See, Corvette owners, we stick together. The SLC itself was so out there, so different. Getting gas was a 20-minute ordeal. It was a big deal. And then, sort of nice thing about owning a Corvette is when you drive up somewhere, everybody goes, "Oh, it's just a Corvette," but they don't really get how well it performs, let alone for how cheaply you can get it. Now, mind you, this one that I'm sitting in is probably the upper end of your C6 Corvettes, just because of the options and all the fancy doodads and whatnot. But people just kind of go, "Oh, it's a Corvette, nice car," and that's neat. That's the kind of attention I'm looking for. The SLC was just over the top attention, and that was a bit rough at times. Now, speaking of other Corvette owners that you just saw, that's the thing I love about this. The average Corvette owner is 60-ish, white guy who parks his car and never drives it. Therefore, never crashes, never gets any tickets, which means my premiums are pretty good. So it is actually cheaper to insure this for 6 months out of the year than it is my Malibu. So I'm going to take a road here. I'm going to give you one of the reasons I bought this car. Okay, here we go. This is a street known in my neighborhood for a long, super straight way. Here we go. 1, 2, Oh my God. I won't tell you how fast I was going. I won't tell you how fast I was going, but I can tell you I got there in a damn hurry. Oh my God. I don't know if you can get that translated on camera. car, super long, mostly deserted stretch of road, and I made sure it was clear before I punched it. But holy cow, that that LS7 is awesome. And the last time I had a dyno, it had about 550 to the wheels, 540 torque, give or take. Pretty healthy, but you know, as everybody knows, the LS7 has a major problem with the valve guides. So when I bought this particular one came with heads and cam already done by 21st Century Muscle Cars, and they're a reputable company. I called them, I checked with the VIN, and everything was totally cool. So they remembered the car, they brought it up for me, they even sent me the original dyno tune that they used. Really super cool guys. I didn't ask them to, they just did it because I own the car, and it performs quite well, as you can see. So people say it's just a Corvette, but have you driven one? Oh, that never gets old. I don't care who you are, that never gets old. Show you the reason I bought this car. It's the carbon rotors in the front. Okay, I've got some folks behind us. And what we're gonna do, okay? Hopefully these folks, we'll just go past. But what you're gonna see is I have set up my camera way down there. I bought this car. Okay? The carbon rotors that are on this car are absolutely amazing. Okay? I've set my camera way up there, and I'm gonna do 60. That's the easy part. I'm doing 60. And I'm gonna slam on the brake, and I want you to just take it all in. Here we go. Okay? There's my camera. We're doing 60 miles an hour. Panic stop. Oh my God! Let's pace that off, shall we? Ooh, you can smell some of the rubber. Ooh, ABS kicked in. Oh, that's good stuff. Let's go see how it did. Okay, so hopefully I got that on tape, film, whatever it is these days, memory card. Hopefully I got it on memory card. So I paced it off back there, and given my rudimentary pacing that I did, I paced it off to about 82 feet, okay, give or take. And the magazines did a test with these cars, with these brakes, the Z06 with the Z07 package, and they got 93 feet. So I'm running a bigger tire on the front, not quite as sticky because the Pilot Sport Cup 2s are slightly stickier than the Falcon 615 Pluses that I have, because of that 200 tread wear that I run in the race series, but they are much wider in the front, so that's pretty darn close to what we had. But when you look back at it, it doesn't look like you went very far at all. But that throws you into the seat so fast that it's like your eyeballs are like detaching from the retinas. It is absolutely amazing to experience. And I know you get the acceleration piece, and that's fun, and that is fun. Don't get me wrong. But there's something to be said for having your eyeballs ripped out of their sockets. Oh my God. Oh yeah. It's just a Corvette, don't worry. Yeah, right. Not only does it accelerate and it stops really well, but we've done a couple tweaks like those Delrin bushings from Ridetech, and also the Ridetech